Hello, welcome back to the pod, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good week. Happy Thursday. We've got a lot of baseball to talk about. The Huskers defeated their in-state rivals, the Creighton Blue Jays, 6-5 Tuesday night. They got out to a 6-0 lead and were able to hold on in the last few innings. Sean Unger gets the save for Nebraska. So the Skurs stay hot. We won our 7th straight game. We've now won 18 of our last 19 games. 23-6 on the season, 8-1 in conference. We stay perfect in midweek games, and in our last 10, we're 9-1. So Creighton scored all 5 runs in the 6th inning after Gavin Blatchowitz came out. Clark and Bender came in for relief, so that was tough. Like I predicted, Creighton made it close in the late innings. Gavin Blatchowitz does get the win. He's 3-1 on the season. He pitched 4 shutout innings, and he finished with 2 strikeouts. Sean Unger, of course, the Huskers' blazing closer, saves the game for us. He gets the save. Nebraska hitting stays hot. Finished with 10 hits on the night. No home runs. But let's get into the Huskers' stats. So Mac Moyer finished with 3 RBIs, 1 hit. Jeter Worthley, 1 of 5 with a run. Case Sanderson, 2 of 5. Dylan Carey, our power hitter, 2 of 3 with an RBI and a run. Jet Buck, 2 for 5 with a run and an RBI. And then Drew Grigo, our freshman phenom, 1 of 4. He did score a run and did bring in an RBI. Jet Overbeek, 1 for 3 with a run. And I'll show you guys highlights here at the end. So let's get into Creighton's stats. So they only finished with 6 hits, and their 2 guys that really made it happen for them was Nate McHugh and Belarjan. Nate McHugh, 3 of 4, 2 RBIs and a run. Belarjan, 2 of 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. So those 2 guys alone brought in 4 of their 5 runs. Husker pitching. I mentioned Blatchowitz gets the win. He's 3-1 on the season. Clark and Bender struggled. Each of them gave up 5 runs combined. And then Sean Unger gets the save, his 4th of the season. All right. Now, highlights. I want to show you guys some highlights from the game. All right, and what we're going to start with is Drew Grigo's RBI single.
Ian Kuzman. The pitch is hit in the air on a line. It's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run is going to score.
Made it 1-0 Huskers.
Newton back at third. It's an RBI single for Drew Grigo, and Nebraska takes the...
All right, next, Mac Moyer.
Timing to start things.
This one's hit on the ground. It's headed for the hole, and it's through for a base hit. That's going to score 1, and it's going to score 2.
Mac Moyer brought in 2 runs.
For high average.
The 0-2.
Next up will be Jet Buck.
This one's hit towards the gap, and it could
RBI
be
double.
And it's going to get over the head of Dieters, and that's going to score a run. Buck is going to pull up to second with a double. It's an
Jet Buck's hitting good right now, man.
4-0 Nebraska lead.
Some of it you can only plan out so much. As this one.
All right, let's get to Dylan Carey's fly out.
The breaks and hold right there. So a 2-out single for Nate McHugh. Blue Jays
McHugh getting the hits for Blue Jays. There we go. Dylan Carey fly out RBI. This makes it 5-0.
Coming in is Waxman from center. Is it deep enough? Runner comes down from third to throw home.
Look at that. He dropped the ball on the contact. Good collision there. So 5-0.
This one's into right field for a base hit. And lead off.
Then let's get to Mac Moyer's.
Doesn't have a play at home, and he'll have to touch first. So it's.
You can mention mine.
So next up, Mac Moyer, infield ground out RBI. This makes it 6-0 Huskers in the top of the 6th.
So it's a infield ground out RBI for Mac Moyer, and Nebraska strikes again in the 6th. 6-0 game.
So 6-0, and then they Penn State put together a 5-run 6th inning, but we were able to close it out. All right, so let's preview the Huskers' next series. We take on the Penn State Nittany Lions, 3-game series starting tomorrow night. The Nittany Lions are struggling, 8-18 overall in the season, just 3-6 in conference play. I won't show you their whole schedule, but I do have some notes. So they were swept by Texas Tech. They were swept by Illinois. And they got beat by Kansas State, who Nebraska defeated earlier in the year, 24-5. They're 2-9 away on the road, 4-5 at home, so they're worse on the road. So Nebraska really has an advantage in this one. Top hitters for Penn State: Michael Anderson batting .356 with 11 homers, 29 ribbies, and then Jaden Davis .302, 6 doubles, 11 RBIs. And then Bryce Molinaro, .295, 7 home runs, 20 RBIs. Though, once you look at Michael Anderson and Jaden Davis and Bryce Molinaro, it drops off significantly. Hitting has not been a strength for this team. They're top heavy, as you can tell. Pitching has been their main weakness. You look at their top pitchers: Colin Fitzgerald, one of their starters, 5.79 ERAs, just 2-4 on the season. Ben Hudson, 8.42 ERA, 1-5 on the season. So that's been their glaring weakness. Let's compare the two teams. Penn State, their team batting average is .263, and their team ERA is 8.36. Let's compare that to Nebraska. Nebraska's team batting average is .315, and our team ERA is 4.36. So comparing those, Penn State hitting .263 as a team, Nebraska .315. Penn State giving up 8.36 runs a game, Nebraska 4.36. So Nebraska statistically is the much better baseball team. Penn State, they're a contact-oriented offense. They just put the ball in play and manufacture runs. They don't have a bunch of power hitters outside of Anderson and Molinaro. Those two have combined for 18 home runs. Starting pitching, again, their biggest weakness. They have no consistency. Their primary starters have not been consistent. Both of them giving up well over 5 earned runs per game. Huskers, I think, should get the sweep in this series unless Michael Anderson and Bryce Molinaro can string together a couple solid games, bring in a bunch of runs. Those two, again, have 18 home runs combined and 49 RBIs combined between those two. So my prediction: Huskers get the 3-game sweep, improve to 26-6 on the season, and 11-1 in conference play. I think this should be a relatively easy series to get the sweep for Nebraska. Penn State struggling mightily. The best teams they've played, they've gotten blown out. Nebraska, as hot as ever, coming off that big-time win against Creighton. I think the Huskers get the sweep and continue their magical run. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave comments. I know there's Husker baseball fans out there. I know this is probably the least favorite of all 3 sports: football, basketball, baseball. But you got to give your Huskers some love, baby. 2 straight Big Ten titles. We're 23-6 now on the season, 8-1 in the conference, about to go 26-6. So tune in, listen to their games on the radio, check the scores, and make sure to tune in for my episodes. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Huskers against Penn State tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Central is game 1. Thanks, everybody, and like always, go Big Red, baby.